You don't wanna feel my skin. You don't wanna feel my skin. You just wanna dream of sin. Sickness floating in our veins. Players in a spotlight game. So fancy when I'm in the spotlight. I'm sitting in privacy. A craving that is knocking you out. Just getting visions from my family. When I'm not holding you tight, baby, your eyes when you love it. 'Cause the distance made you live it alright. I've been feeling your eyes and you love it.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate applying my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding dotted line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win in my I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop. So I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting with the oh well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700. Brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal,
quick little mic check.
That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around someone? 'Cause don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun?
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get started. Welcome to Late Night Crypto Charts with Road Dogg. My name is Lane. I am your host for this evening. And every evening, coming to you an hour earlier tonight at 10 o'clock. The 11 o'clock spot is just not picking up enough steam. We're going to drop it down an hour, try this. See if it tracks a little bit more people into the stream a little bit. I am cameraless tonight. I do have a nice little mic set up though, so got some of those issues worked out. And today, baby, we just look at the charts and look at crypto. Red day, another red day in the market. My, what is the news saying about all this? Well, the articles on the news are talking about a death cross. Bum. That's right, a death cross that could be coming to Ethereum. My. Well, luckily, I have the chart pulled up right here. What are they talking about when they say the death cross? It's going to be the death of us all. So before you, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful chart that we have, you see this 50 moving average colored blue. This yellow moving average is at the 200 moving average. And you see that the 50 is getting ready to cross over that. And whichever chart that you're on, whatever time frame, when that happens, this is called the death cross. And that just means that, well, things go down. Not a good sign, not a good sign at all, and it is happening to Ethereum on the daily. So, ladies and gentlemen, what does this mean for Ethereum? What's going on with Bitcoin? We've got a lot to talk about today with this big old drop that we've had. But since we're on Ethereum, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's take a look at Ethereum first. So Ethereum's been respecting this trend line for such a long time. Dropped down there, that was 1470, about 1482, somewhere in that area where we dropped down to. That was during the big drop. Big sell-off, liquidations, you name it, stop losses getting hit, just pounding the price down. The good news is that since then we popped back up and, been lingering, going sideways and everything. We did get a break out of this falling wedge, or this broadening wedge, descending broadening wedge. We often just call them bullish megaphones anymore because they look like a megaphone. It did get a breakout, and so did Bitcoin, and it looked beautiful today. This has looked beautiful for several days, and then it dumped. None. Now, I will say this, and I'll come to a smaller time frame, just so you can make more sense of this. This pattern does have a chance for a retracement, okay? So off the bat, and what that means is that when price shoots out of it, a lot of times it will come back to the breakout point and retest that. That's kind of normal for these patterns. So what's going on right now, even though it broke out to a nice high, well, it's a 5% move. It's not the end of the world there. But even though it got a breakout to the high there, rejected off this 100 moving average, and we came back to retest the trend line. Perfectly normal. Now, we should get a bounce from here. If not, well, that's a different story we got to look at. When we come back into a pattern, it's usually not good news at all. Now, they did wick back into this. And depending on how you draw this, I'm going from this candle top to this candle top, forming that trend line, and that's what it respected. Every time it wicked up to that line. So I'm very confident with this line. And while it is normal to retest this area, my indicators are saying it's not looking too good. It's looking a little bleak. But I will say this, there's no bearish divergence. And that's a sign that would definitely indicate down, right? I'm not getting that on the 6 hour. Not really getting that here, not from where I need anything to happen. So, and on the smaller time frame, we can see that we actually got a bullish candle here. So got a breakout, got a retracement, and got a fair chance to bounce here and be okay. But there are some other warning signs we need to take a look at. Some of our indicators are saying, hey, it's still kind of bullish, or still kind of bearish here. Because especially on this time frame, we have this 9 moving average doing something very interesting here. We got 3 moving averages converging all at once, or some big kind of just super screw you, buddy. And how this breaks down is we got the 100 moving average, the white one, coming in on the bottom. Crossing it bullishly is the 21 moving average. Trying to cross all of them bearishly is the 9 moving average. So a cocktail of what? So true. 9 crossing the 21 usually means more downside. Some of these indicators are topping, they're coming down. Maybe our stochastics are on the bottom. There's some signs here. In my personal opinion, I think we have a fair chance to bounce. And it looks bleak. I'm telling you, it does. It looks bleak. But let me point out to you what I see. I see the only thing that crossed the 200 moving average on the 1 hour was this 9 moving average. All the rest of them are still up there, still strong, still holding their weight, getting a little bit of a tug down, but we're not ready to drop yet. If there's a drop coming, we're going to have to stay here for a while and weaken this, because right now it's still strong enough to get a bounce back. So I still got hope for it. Now, if I'm under in the hour, and I've pretty much gone straight across there with my line going from candle body to candle body, almost straight, not quite, a little bit slanted up, right? Now my RSI does have a diverging factor to it. We call that divergence. This is called hidden bullish divergence this particular time, and this is where this bottom is actually coming down. So if you remember on the price action, it was slanted. It was a lot like this, but slanted just slightly. Well, we do have some bullish divergence. It's a weak one. It's weak at the moment. Not the greatest, but it's there. And we are trying to reclaim this 9 moving average. Got a nice little wick here, matching up with this one. We did wick below this. Technically, we made a lower low than this one, not than this one. So we got a higher low overall for this move so far. I'm seeing a good possibility for a bounce, and I want to take a Fibonacci retracement. See just how far down we came and where we are. We're at the 786, wick down below the 886. But we didn't stay there. It is my personal opinion that this one has a decent chance to make a little bit of a comeback. I'm not seeing anything out of normal behavior just yet. Now, do we need to look at our trend lines? Now, things are a little bit different on the 1 hour than the 4 hour. 4 hour, several different ways we can look at this. This being one. That being a very accurate one in my personal opinion. So I think we're going to have to follow this one on the 4 hour. Now we still have let's see. Do we still have divergence from there? We have this going up, connecting these bottoms of this RSI. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to find if we got the little magic clue to tell us that we've got a bump to the upside. And I'm not seeing it there as strong. I would say watch this carefully. It is normal to get a retracement and then a bounce as they retest the breakout level. So this is normal yet, but you know, the safest thing to do is if you do see it break back into this area, if you're in a trade or concerned about it going further down for your portfolio, that would be the time to exit whenever it crosses this trend line. Right now it's holding it and it's safe. There is some concern up here at the crossing of the moving averages, and some of the other indicators do indicate, you know, maybe a little lower. So we got to watch Ethereum, but so far, okay, be cautious though. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin, because man, what the crap happened to Bitcoin today, right? It was going good and then it was going bad. So a couple of days ago, very excited about that pump, right? And then it started looking a little funky up there. We're noting that, and it just didn't settle right. Was expecting a retrace. Now, my level that I was expecting, that I've mentioned last night in the stream, was actually just a more or less right around here, around 26, in that 25 area. It did go lower than what I had anticipated. I think it went lower than what everyone anticipated. But I was actually looking for this 786, 886 area. 886 being a long shot in my mind as a 26, 178. Do I have that on another chart? If I can find the one I actually drew that on. So we had some measured moves here, 26, 283. So that area was where I was expecting us to come to. Oh, baby, can't get them all the time. And she went lower. She went lower. All the way down 25, 655. That is the market makers having some fun. Now, if you look at this on the 4 hour, you know, we're kind of in the same situation. We got a 9 moving average trying, not yet, hasn't done it yet, on the 4 hour to cross over the 21 moving average, which normally is a push to the downside. This was the first one. When that crosses, there's another push. Is that going to happen? I mean, normally when you see this on the charts, it does play out. All we can do is look at the lower time frames and see if they got anything good for us. This may be interesting. Too early to tell on that. It's a new moving average that I'm working with here. And about to get a bullish cross of the 200 over it. Is that going to help us? It may. But here's the deal. On the 1 hour on this, if we don't get above this non-moving average, reclaim this area, yeah, we're definitely going down. That's the first key. You got to get above the non-moving average. If the 21, if we dilly-dally around here and don't go anywhere, and this 21 comes and crosses that 200 moving average, we're going to drop. It's going to happen. But if we get above the 9, we can start working our way up, and that's a sign that this support level is holding. I'm going to move to the 4 hour and take another look at just what Bitcoin did, right? And what are we left working with? Well, if we go from this wick right here to that candle body, that actually lines up with where it wicked to. Now, I was not thinking about looking for that earlier. I definitely would have. Actually, if I tune in here, it's off just a little bit. So wicking down is not going to be a pretty sight, but we can get a general idea. If we pull the Fibonacci up here, we've got a couple areas to keep an eye on. That's coming in at 25,339. And also here at 25,027. Now, if we just get totally froggy, we're looking at 24,579 if it gets real bearish. Rarely see that get hit. That's got to be kind of a strongy one. But this guy right here, 25,34, that particular fib level gets hit very often when we get a break. And it's based on that swing low to swing high. Right in level with some of the areas that we dipped down to. Now, let's hope that that doesn't happen, but the market makers, I don't know. I totally blame this on market makers at the moment. Just flushing, they're just having fun flushing longs and shorts on futures. You remember what Gary Gensler likes. He doesn't like spot. He likes futures, the play Bitcoin. And it has an effect. The futures markets have an effect on Bitcoin. That's what, when they open futures markets, that's when we had the dump in 2017. What happened at the top of the bull market rather, when Bitcoin was up there at 65, 69,000? Well, it was another ETF approved for Bitcoin. Futures, not spot. Never spot. Always futures. That's a convenient way if you don't want price to go up too high on an asset to bring it down. And so it was. Now, Bitcoin, if we look overall at the pattern that we have now, this is interesting to me. This particular pattern, it's a right angle broadening wedge. Okay, let's take a look at that. Right angle broadening wedge over on the patternsite.com, because if you want somebody telling you information, it's good if they're backing it up with something rather than just pulling numbers out of their butt, because everything does not go 68% of the time in one direction or the other. There's different percentages and there's different probabilities. So I digress. We're looking for a broadening wedge, a right angled formation. So I found this under the B's, go figure. Here we go. Now did I get the right one? Yes, I did. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the statistics with it. This pattern actually has a 55% chance to break to the upside. And Thomas Mikowski says that right here, break out 55% upward. And there's some things that we want to look at it. So we got a shot. It's a little bit more than 50-50. But there's a strong shot at this level that Bitcoin won't fall anymore. Can it be? Can it be? We'll have to see. 55% chance. This can hold. And actually, not just hold, but break to the upside, meaning that we get out of this situation. So we'll just have to wait this one out and say there are some very bearish signs here with some of these indicators, that 9 going over the 21 on the 4 hour being one of them. Seeing how money flow is going into the red, that's another one. VWAP is down here at the, at a low level. Stochastics are at a low level and they can stay there, not helping define anything. Yeah, the only time that the stochastics, once they are down at the bottom, the only time that they're helpful now is when they start to turn upward. That's your clue. Until then, they're useless. RSI is at 33.95. Now that's very low for RSI. Very, very low. And if I can pull it up here, there we go. I mean, we were down in these levels, right? And now we can also chart RSI. And we can see we deviated there a little bit. And then we broke it right here. So we were under, and it may have some more to go down. So just some things we got to look at for Bitcoin. Now, let's say what happens if Bitcoin does not hold this level. We know we're coming down. We gave you targets, 25,368 or 25,343 and 25. 2027. And that not perfect targets. This is a zone. If you're actually playing this, the charts are different for what exchanges that you're on and all this and that, but that's the general zone. Current chart I'm looking at right now is the KuCoin chart. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit on Bitcoin. Now, this is the idea that is still up for grabs until we actually make it past this lower low that we had way back here. And that was June 15th. 24,800 right through there. Until we make a lower low than that, or this previous one right here, 24,900. That's the neckline. Till we get past there, we're more than likely going to come up, and if we do come up, we have the probability of making this pattern, which, hate to say it, it is a bearish pattern. So the market's kind of bearish overall, depending on no matter how you look at it, because we broke this major trend. So Bitcoin, she's going to go down. The question is she going to go down now, or is she going to go down later? I'm still of the school of thought. I am still leaning that it will be later. That we will pull price up and to some of these areas again and then come back down. However, there is definitely an argument to be made that after you broke that trend line, this was the bearish retest and we come down. If I was on the 15-minute chart, if I was on the 1 hour chart, that's exactly how I would read that. And that would be exactly my first thought. Or this head and shoulders possibility. Now, it climbing up, that's actually a little bit more bullish. And actually more of what we need to see right now. To me, in my personal opinion, to make Bitcoin drop down to these levels, where would it drop to? A big fall. Where are we headed? Well, we know if we take the measurement from this head and shoulders, it's bringing us all the way down to 20,000. And regardless of whether that right shoulder goes there or not, there's a good chance if we lose that level, we're still going to get that same measure move. Now, that area, that target, my target's there, correspond. And I've got another one, but you're not going to like it. The other target I got gets us back down to the bottom trend line here, around 16,000. And I'm not trying to sound all bearish, but we're not seeing any of this stuff yet. It's just we got to be open to the possibility. So each of these Fibonacci levels will be a hiccup in price if price does come down. So this 0.5, right around 24,000, just a little under. This new little moving average I've got is very good at catching these things. So I think we would definitely at least see a hiccup there, maybe some support. There may be some kind of other pattern that could come into formation here. So that's a possibility. 618, normal place where things are expected to bounce. Do I think it will bounce there? Probably not, because everybody expects it to. That's at 21.9. I mean, if we're breaking down, baby, I'm looking down here, 19,000. Just going, if this was any other time frame, any other asset, this is what I would see. 786 retracement if we break that. In a way, I feel bad that I sound very bearish. And I'm trying to show why. And, I'm not seeing that reason here on this particular chart. That's odd. Where are you there? The 200 moving average was not on that chart. I don't know why. That's odd. This yellow line on any time frame, I said that at the beginning of the stream when we were looking at something else. On any time frame, as long as price is below it, you're bearish. Period. That's just it. Period. Accept that. We're below it, so I'm bearish. So now I have to play to the downside. That's the rules of the game. And the weekly's down there, so I'm bearish, baby. Now, there's some bullish things I can point out here on the weekly that would argue that we're not going to get those big drops. Are you interested in that? Because it's very simple. Keep it simple. I don't need to pull up anything real complicated. I got trend lines. I got moving averages. And the moving averages are telling me we don't have that cross yet. How many weeks is that going to take? It's not this week. This week's almost over. Must be next week. So we got another, 10 days here? And we still don't know if we're going to have a cross in 10 days. Now, if that cross comes, where the 9 crosses the 21, as we talked a lot before. We also got the 200 right here. Well, it's got to cross over that one too. That's the one I would worry about. But it hasn't crossed. And when it gets like this, there is also chances that it doesn't if it goes up. Why would it go up? Well, one, it's at a very good support level, or very good, it's found support at this area, and that's usually what happens when you tap support. Two, reading this Ichimoku cloud, that's this big patch of red behind the price action. If you guys are wondering what that is, this gives me peace of mind. I don't use it like they normally do. There's a lot of other parts of the indicator that I don't use, but I do like the cloud thing, because when you're in the cloud, it's technically no man's land. You're not really supposed to do anything. They say it's not really, it's neutral territory, technically. But when you come in from the bottom in the red cloud, 9 out of 10 times, 9.5 out of 10 times, it will shoot you out. And those are my statistics, those aren't quoted. It will shoot you out to the other side. And that's especially true if you got a little sliver of green over here to the right. That's where we are. Now, when you're in the red cloud, it's not just a fun ride out. It can get a little bumpy. So I think, according to this, on the weekly, we're just experiencing a little turbulence. However, we did break that trend line, so it's not great. But what we're looking for, if there's anything bullish to be had at all, I mean, I mentioned what I expected to do is do that little head and shoulders pattern. That's one thing I'm watching. But there can be another scenario where, we broke this, and we see this on timelines when, we're expecting that altcoin to drop. We've got it all set up. It broke structure and everything, but then it rides that trend line up. And it keeps going. I mean, it has some problems, but it just keeps going on another level, like a level down. Like it drops a step, but it still keeps going. So that's what the bullish scenario would look like. But man, makes me want to go check the Fear and Greed. How's it going, not a member? Glad to see you here, man. I started early tonight, so I'm trying out the 10 o'clock time slot. See if that's working a little bit better. And I'm also flirting with the idea of maybe a daytime slot. So analytics show that most of the people that do tune in, are usually on more in the day. But I like the late night streams myself. So Bitcoin, scary. That's what they want, though. And just zooming out just helps. There's so much chop on the smaller time frames. I mean, my goodness, it's just, how do you make sense of that? I mean, it's just chop. So zoom out, and we're still sticking with this falling wedge or falling channel. Depends on how you want to look at it. That's more of a symmetrical, which I don't trust those little suckers. I like to go with the bottoms of the candles there. So, okay, now the daily, let's check this out. These moving averages have been under, right? They've already crossed on the daily. We came down here, we were trying to get above it. We did get above it, and now we lost it again. Are we coming back above it? We got rejected off of the 200 here. We went past the 21, past the 200, trying to get to the 50. We didn't make it to the 50 or the 100. The next sequence in order from the 9 to the 21 is the 50. So it got jaded on that. It got knocked off track. In my personal opinion, just by reading moving averages alone here on the daily, a good chance we reclaim the 9, break through, go to the 50. The 50 will go back to the 100. Gee, we got to get above the 200 on that too. There'll be a little fight there, and then probably a slam down because they got rejected, and they would have to go back to the 21. So just kind of what I'm putting my crystal ball spectacles on as far as it goes with the moving averages. So Bitcoin, faked a lot of us out today. I thought it had a nice little chance of holding earlier, or was hoping at that level right there, but she did not. And that level corresponded with this little new moving average I've got too. But there was more wanting it to go down. And are you still? Now I want to say I'm on the 24 minute and we're about to get across with the 100 over the 200. I will say this about this particular thing. Not all the time. It does not work all the time, but a lot of times when you see the 100 cross the 200, it's so far, this is on such a bigger scale, going back so many other candles. I mean, it's not going to play out quick. And by the time it does come into effect, the smaller moving averages may have made up for some of that slack, right? Sometimes you will see when those actually do cross, that's when you'll start getting a reversal. I know it's crazy. So you'll get a flip, and then things will come back, and but the important thing is it solidifies, hopefully a local bottom anyway, if that happens, and that way we can get a higher low and start working. So bullishly, that's what we would hope for, right? Anything else that makes this look bullish? This big thickening Ichimoku cloud. When she's thin like this, oh, that's scary. That's down. Oh, fast move. When we get thicker like this, that's going to, you got to look at it like a magnet and just try to draws price up to it. Got a lot of volume coming in now on the 24 minute. Trying to drive things higher there. And here on the smaller time frames, we're getting bullish. Not out of the woods yet, because this could easily be, just like it has been before, the last big formation. It's a rising channel, it can break to the downside. Even if you look at it like this, that's a rising wedge, definitely going to break to the downside. Unless, this will be key, and it's on the 5 minutes, so we'll know pretty soon. Well, I call that a rising wedge. I think from the angle I was looking at it, this is more of a ascending triangle, so I have to change my strategy there. This one does have about a 64% chance to break to the upside. And it looks like we're going to do it on the 5 minute. So if you're looking for a trade on Bitcoin right now, buy the breakout of the move up. You've also got, if you haven't noticed this, it's not really a head and shoulders. Okay, I don't want to call it a head and shoulders, but we got a triple bottom. I triple tap right there with a neckline, just like, play it like a head and shoulders is going to be. Oh gosh, maybe we should just call it head and shoulders. That's a freaky shoulder you got there, mister. So measure move for that takes us back up to this area. So 26,175 short-term play on Bitcoin. Now me, if I'm trying to get into something, a lot of times I'm trying to get in a little under here, close to here. Now, getting up at the top of the trend line, not always a good idea. So you may get lucky here, but you're chancing it. There's this big green Ichimoku cloud just dying to have you suck price right into it. So that's there. Do notice how it's getting all spindly over here and pointing up. That means we got a shot. Notice that our 9 moving average is getting ready to cross the 50 and the 21, and we're getting ready to shoot out of this little guy. So, geez, do I have any money in that account? Oh. Well, yes, I do. So, just reverse my short there. It's preemptive. I should have done it. I should have been out of that short. So the official way that you want to trade this, listen to me. I just got in where I told you not to get in. I know it's going up though. Breakout may be a retest. There may not be. It may be an immediate retest. It may come up here and retest. Have to be careful. But for a trade, this one's not bad. You do have our target right off is 26,174. Will it go higher? Yeah, it could. Will it not? Well, I don't know, but it should go there. I know that much. So put me moving. Where we at? Put me measure move right there. Helps if you do it with an Australian accent, makes it work out a little bit better is what I found. They seem to be a little bit more lucky than the Irish. Okay, so do it like you're supposed to in the breakout. You got a 0.5% move.
Big deal, Road Dog. 5%. Woohoo! I made 50 cents on my $5,000 investment. What the hell?
Now, baby, I'm talking about if you're doing a leverage game. If you're doing leverage, if you're doing 100x, that's a 50% gain. So target 26,174. 171.23 cents because we don't go with these even numbers if we can avoid it. 50% profit. Let's see if that plays out. I made a trade. All right, so we've covered most of this time going over Bitcoin and Ethereum mostly. Haven't really touched altcoins. Why? Well, because, not much going on with altcoins right now, except for them going down. We should probably take a look at total 3 one more time, just to make sure our lock that you're going back up and not breaking to the bottom of this bearish pattern, because you easily could have. This is this could be a bear flag. Breaking to the downside, but she's trying to go back into it. And the trend lines are a little suspect because you got all these wicks. So technically, I guess we can go back to those two right there, right? So technically, until we break these bottom ones, we're still good. Come on, baby. We need some loving, crypto market. We need some good news. Because I'm trying to think, going back to Bitcoin and all these other things, looking like they're on the precipice just to drop like crazy right before, of course, we get into the weekend when there's low liquidity and they could be easily manipulated. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Usually a better day in crypto than, usually Thursdays are not as horrible. So they're trying to set us up to take us down. If we do go down in this, we are in a falling channel. So we can find some support, but it'll just suck having to work our way up. This is still overall a bullish pattern that we're in, minus the little bearish one I got printed out there. So overall, with this bigger orange channel I've got here, we will stay in that channel until we are not. And you will know when we are not. Sometimes it tries to are not and get out, but it comes right back in, which is normally a bullish sign. All right, I'm going to take a look at some altcoins because, you know, we like the altcoins. One thing. Oh, did it go up? It did, I think. I was looking at an link earlier today. At some interesting levels. And let's see. I want to get this on Coinbase here. So it looks like she's trying to do a little something earlier. So the link has taken a little tumble. It's been a boring coin to hold. It's got a nice little range that it'll get up to, right? Between this area about, you know, in the $5 area on up to $9. So you've got a chance to actually, you know, trade this. I guess a lot of people do like to trade Link. This is why, because they can just keep rolling it back over and over. So it's got its benefits, it's got its levers. She's not ready on the daily. Yeah, she's got some conflicting signs there. What's this? So currently, Link is in a falling channel, falling wedge, depending on how you want to look at it. Both of those are actually bullish patterns. They usually do break out to the upside. Now, with a channel, it's harder to read than a wedge. At least a wedge, you can get a good sense of timing. On a channel, like I said earlier, you're just in it until you aren't. I mean, they can go just in that little narrow channel for a long way if they want. Here's the cool things about Link that we've got going on. This was the golden cross. Now, we talked about Ethereum having that death cross, which is where the 50 crosses downward over the 200 moving average. Here, we got the 50 crossing bullishly over the 200 moving average. That is our golden cross. That's your buy signal. Your buy signal came in over here. Now, doesn't mean buy right now. It means, hey, things are going to start getting good for it. Get ready. And then we drop. It's still there. Your buy signal is still on for Link. And these are some great prices, I think. Can she come down? She's wanting to. Daily's wanting to come down, so it looks like she comes down, she's going to fall within this channel. And we're talking about maybe 570, 568, somewhere through there. And on down as far as it goes in this channel until it gets bullish enough to break out, which should not be too far. But it looks like it wants to take a few days to kind of reset there. That's what I'm getting off the daily. Check out the 4-hour. 4-hour would definitely have some work to do there. It's not quite ready just yet, I don't think. But still, to get into position, not bad. Because she should come up. So I'm going to stick with the channel. Now, when she does get a breakout, where's she coming? Well, we can take a measured move right off the bat. We'll take this little guy right here. Now, it's going to vary depending on where the breakout is. So I'm just going to guesstimate maybe we take a, couple of days for that to even think about happening. And we got a target about 656. So off the cuff, there we go. Now, if I want to be a little bit more technical about it, do this one of three ways. I want to do it with Fibonacci. One way I want to do is at the very top of this move, I want to pull it down from there. I had to stop because I ran out of screen. Go back and grab it and pull it all the way down to the bottom. Sometimes just of that one. But if we're getting a bounce, I'll go ahead and grab this little guy. 618 Fibonacci area right here. Also coming up with this new little moving average I'm working on. You want to know what it is? You want to know what it is? Anybody interested? You got to ask if you're interested. And I'll tell you. But also brings up 618 Fibonacci later, about 690. Okay. So you could play this. I'm playing this at under $5 or around $5 area. I'm looking to add link back to my bags. Actually, I did add a little bit with ETH tonight. Just a DCA of these areas. You don't always have to trade it. You can DCA it. Now, a juicy area, if it loses this level, a juicy area to look for would be right here about 522. And somewhere around 495, maybe 501. Should it break down? But the pattern says, you know, depending on what time frame we're on. No, that was great. I'm always looking for the candle bodies. That's what I'm checking. A channel. But also, like I said, if it's a channel, then the only downside to it is that it can channel its way all the way down there. So these are ones you've really got to watch for signs of a breakout, and the signs of the breakouts would be where price starts coming back up toward the top. Get my marker there. Price starts. It's not marking. We're doing this again. So I've got to refresh my screen, and then I won't be able to show you. Let me see if I can just draw it out of here. This thing's not working with me again tonight. I don't know why. Try one more time. There we go. Worked that time. So price will go up. If it's getting ready to break out, it'll go up to the top and probably get rejected, right? But it will come back and a halfway mark. Okay, and then we'll try. So there'll be like this point of decline here. And it will catch support, and then we work on a breakout. So I like Link, it's just not ripe yet. A lot of these altcoins are not quite ripe just yet to get in, but for DCA, there's some good prices out there. Quickly looking over my list here, coins that been following. Going over my notes real quick. I'm going to look at one called MNDE, Marinade. It's requested previously on the stream. Did an analysis of it, did a little bit of a deeper look at it. Just doing a little check back on it on the 4 hour here, still below the 200 moving average, so not great for that. It's like we had it, I think the last time we looked at it was I guess a falling channel, and I had a buy zone here, which we got into, broke out of. And I was looking at this as being in a range. I think that's what it was, because I got a little short zone up there. A long zone and a short. I was looking at this as being in a range. I don't know. I'm not seeing as things go by. I'm not really. Yeah, we are actually. It's just a deeper range. A little bit under right there. Okay. So interesting one here. Let's see if we can make more sense out of this one. With the new information we got, rounding scallop there. Will you break out, Mr. Scallop? Overall, making a bigger pattern here. Falling wedge, which now they can go, baby, they can go, but usually they break out about 75% of the way in. And let's do a little experiment, shall we? I'm going from candle bodies to candle bodies. Baby, we close. We is really close. Halfway would be pretty much about right there. And about right here. I am going to put a vertical line about right here. Just to kind of mark the 75% area. Wow, that's tomorrow. Maybe. Let's watch it and see what happens to it. Lower time frames, what do you say? You got anything bullish? No, I don't see anything bullish at all there. Not yet anyway. You're trying to get over the 200. Got some rejection going on there. Are you coming all the way down or are you still in it? You're coming down, baby. So she could be coming all the way back down unless she does a partial decline. May see a partial decline. Possible. MNDE. Then the partial decline would be a 786 retracement. So, doable. Yeah. So, possibly could see something like that. Or down to the 886 level. Normally, what would happen is that you would get a retracement all the way back to the bottom of the pattern. I'm getting a sense with the Fibonacci that it may not happen that way this time. So let's see if we get a breakout or a possible attempt to break out. Not now. But she's got a little drop in order. I should have marked those areas she's coming down to, possibly. Probably at 3.9 and 4.2 cents is kind of what I'm looking at. So marinade, for anyone interested in that. Falling wedge, 68% chance to break to the upside. Nice shallow one. Not ready to pop yet though. We're looking for it to come down. Safest thing is to actually buy the breakout when it does, in my personal opinion. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you can, before you leave, just hit that like button. If you have any coin requests that you would like me to review, let me know. Just leave it in the comments below in the video. Don't forget that we also are giving away 3 Tangem wallets whenever this channel reaches 1,000 subs. That information can be found in the description below in the video. And if you just like to buy a Tangem wallet, well, you can also get a nice little discount over at tangem.com if you use the discount code DAWG dog. Give it 10% off your purchase, and they are great wallets. I highly recommend that you get one secure. Don't have to have the seed phrase thing. Makes life a lot easier. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Be blessed, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Keep track of the market. See if she goes up or down. She's looking kind of rough though, so be careful. Good night, everybody.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you was really was part your life. Basic bullets.